Welcome to GLHF, the world's first podcast in video games. We're going to attempt to do a really cool trick for you guys right at the start here. Oh. We got to get...
Didn't work. We need way more speed.
We got to get up this
way
ramp.
More speed.
I think we should...
All right, let's just back up. See those tomatoes? We're heading towards the tomatoes, and then we're going to turn around.
I don't think that's what those are.
Give us a long runway.
They look like, gosh.
Those are tomatoes.
Pomegranates?
Oh, they're pomegranates. They're totally pomegranates.
Yeah.
You know, actually, unbelievable, goated...
Okay, just keep
food.
fast.
I got it. I'm going.
Okay.
Boom.
We did it.
Absolute expert. Go back.
You know what? They saw us do it once. And
that works.
That's
pomegranate
enough.
seeds, goated, okay? Listen, pomegranate seeds. I actually think they are really... those, and this is maybe how I know I'm getting older, but those and sweet potato have absolutely shot up my, tier list of food. Like, pomegranate seeds, I feel like you can put in literally anything, and they're incredible. And sweet potato...
I don't know anything about
so
pomegranates.
Good.
You eat the seeds?
Okay, listen. Yeah, you eat the seeds. It's simultaneously like the most satisfying and most disgusting thing you've ever done to get the seeds out. It feels... Do you have that thing that people pretend to have or possibly have? Yeah. It's like that.
People pretend to have.
But in a fruit. I don't know if it's real or not. I've never looked it up. I don't like it. When I see all the holes, I do get a little queasy. But pomegranate seeds in salads, insane. On tacos, dude. I had a fish taco. There's this place near our house where I get these fish tacos, pomegranate seeds. Holy smokes.
Are they like, what are they like? Are they crunchy? Like, I'm imagining a seed.
Imagine you ever have a Gushers?
Yeah.
It's like a Gushers mixed with a water balloon that tastes like but it's like a tiny Gushers mixed with a tiny water balloon with a tiny piece of plastic inside of it.
Uh-huh.
And that's it.
So they kind of pop?
They kind of pop, and they're sweet, and then there's the hard little nut center, CD center thing. And they're just incredible. They're so good.
And you're...
so highly recommend it.
So you're doing fish now. Have you always done fish?
Since moving to New Orleans, I will do fish. We don't buy them for in the house, and we only get them if it's nice fish that you caught off the Gulf of Mexico type shit. You
want to know the fish's name?
Fish.
You want to know its lineage?
Absolutely. No. That's the last thing I want to know. I don't have empathy for the fish, but I have. I'm trying to get into heaven. Is what I'm saying. Right. Actually, I think you can eat fish and go to heaven in Lent. Because anytime Lent happens down here, all of the churches have fish fries. So I assume actually it's totally fine. But anyway, yeah, a little bit of fish. Fish tacos they're really good.
Yeah, that's the same way Noah also will do fish sometimes, certain meats sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not even opposed to, again, if you came to me and you said, we've got this cow and it was grass-fed and it had a nice life, and then we killed it. Would you eat the burger as part of a special occasion? Or let's say I'm in another country and their cuisine is super meat heavy. I'll make exceptions in those cases. I do kind of believe in the spirit of what Anthony Bourdain said, which is that if you don't eat meat when you're traveling, you're like a dumbass and an idiot. He said it a little too harsh. That? But I understood. I don't remember the words he used. He honestly said that, I think, worse than that. But I do agree with the underlying idea there that meat is a deep part of culture, and kind of there's something beautiful about engaging with culture.
Yeah, and there is just also in a certain way. It's a useful skill to be able to eat whatever the people eat where you're going. You're 100%. Not always going to be able to, if you go somewhere that's a big enough city, sure, maybe you can find hip vegan restaurants and stuff, but if you want to travel and experience a culture, it's good if you can get a little bit out of your comfort zone to just eat what they eat there.
I think so. Honestly, I don't think if you could ask me 1,000 times, I never would have guessed that this is what we'd be talking about at the start of the pod, just because pomegranates. I thought we were gonna have some hi, how you doing moment, but no, we went right for pomegranates.
Hi, how you doing? We've both released videos. Finally.
We did both release videos.
Your first one back, and what? How long was between your last one?
A little over 2 months. Over 2 months.
I actually had people messaging me, asking me if you were alive.
I'm here. It's interesting because all those people, you can like ban them, whoever it was, because they don't have functioning frontal lobes. Because in the video that I put up at the end of the year, I take time in the video to explicitly say, I'm not going to make a video for 1 or possibly 2 months, but I'll be back. So all those people...
Was it at the very end? Because people probably clicked...
It was at the very end, to be fair.
Yeah.
But, then they don't have patience. So...
And you also know they're not real fans because they clearly don't watch the GLHF podcast, which you have been appearing on anyway. So.
Seriously. Honestly, I like that you say appearing on, like I'm the guest.
Well, I mean,
I've been making appearances on the GLHF podcast.
We both appear, I think.
No, I appear on it pretty regularly, I would say. Sometimes we do an episode and I haven't really appeared. We do the episode, but I'm not truly present. But I actually saw, and every once in a while this happens, I don't know if you've noticed, but there are people out there who know me through the podcast because of you. And I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really funny when people know either of us through like fans. A weird avenue, or like I've said before, the people that say they actually don't watch either of our channels and only watch the podcast. That's hilarious.
Just unbelievable shout out to those people, because it's probably the best content we make. I mean, look at this, these photos of hamsters on a mesh.
It's definitely its own thing, which I like.
Yeah. I've definitely continued to appreciate the slot that it has.
And yeah, these are definitely photos. The textures are definitely just made of real photos of a hamster. It's probably like somebody's specific hamster. What if it's like, what if it's like the dev's hamster?
That'd be so sad.
Why?
Because it's probably dead. Don't games take like 2 years to make?
That's true, and
so
hamsters
there's no
only
shot that
live.
It's still going, yeah.
2 years is like the max of a hamster.
Yeah, this game isn't even really out yet. What's it called? Hamstopia? They will be, and isn't that just beautiful?
Hamsteria. And also, when I was looking at the title of this game, I was like, I am constantly rocketing back and forth between spelling hamster with a P, hamster, or just hamster. Or am I just insane?
Wait.
There's
is that
no
a joke?
P. No, some people do.
I've never heard this before.
Like look, I just searched
hamster.
I just searched hamster in Google, and stuff comes up. Some people spell it like this.
When you say stuff comes up, I gotta figure out what you mean exactly.
Search hamster. Hamster.
Okay, actually, on the stock photo website, there's a category of hamster, which is like a good indicator that a lot of people need it. 30,000 images. Now, I will say when I searched hamster, the first 10 links are just stock photo websites. So it's not, it's not like it's the most common spelling, but it's common enough.
It's probably wrong. Like Google is telling me, did you mean hamster with no P? But there are people that are...
You say probably. It's probably wrong. Could be right.
But there's enough people that think that there's people labeling pictures of hamsters as hamster. I think it might just be one of those things that like you can see how, because you can see how you would spell it like that, right? When you say hamster, I'm doing the P. When you say hamster. But hamster. Like somewhere in between when you make the M and the S, like it's very easy and natural to insert a P sound there, I feel. So
yeah, there's not.
It's
can
not
you name
unreasonable.
That many other words that have like the soft ending M with like a S
followed by another consonant.
Yeah, like another consonant. There's not like lamp. That's normally where we get the AMP sound, or blimp. Like so that sort of ending M with a P. How many M's? I don't know. There's probably a million, and we're just not thinking of them. I really like the people also searched for something about these are very amusing. Hamster near me. How much is hamster?
Locate closest hamster.
Where can I buy a hamster? Hamster cost. Hamster buy.
Look, see, so even cute. The way that you're saying it, it sounds like there's a little P in it.
Hamster. I can't really hear myself that well. I'll have to put on monitoring or something. But hey, there might be some etymology there, or or I don't even know.
But yeah.
Now I'm looking at the hamster Wikipedia page.
To get back to what I was saying, congrats on the video. Enjoyed the video.
Oh, thanks.
I had a question about you mentioned in the video, you call it an eternal stew.
Yes.
And I was wondering what you think of the concept of a perpetual stew.
It's interesting you bring this up because after having finished the script for this video, which was probably 3 weeks ago now, I had a get-together with some people.
Did they have a perpetual stew?
And they brought up, totally unrelated, they brought up this guy on Instagram who has this perpetual stew going. And then my friend Luke, who was down here, he brought up that's like a... that's kind of actually, when I played KCD, I thought of those as like a gamey thing, but he was like, no, it was like, it made sense to keep it going because you couldn't freeze it or whatever. So just having it constantly bubbling keeps it from getting bacteria.
And I think it is actually from the glance of Wikipedia that I just did. It said something about like it arose.
Glance.
It arose like in medieval times. The idea of a perpetual stew. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really awesome thing. I mean, there is something. Hearing about that has now made me a little more amenable to the idea of soup and stew not being the worst format of food, because I hate.
That's an opinion that you held before. Yeah. I mean,
and
my
I'm kind
thing
of like,
is,
maybe it's amazing, actually.
My thing is, I don't mind a soup, but at least most of the soups I've had, I'm like, it's not a whole meal, though. Like, I need something else.
Not, okay, but would it not, in every case, just be, and I've got 2 reasons I hate soup, but would it not in every case, this is reason number 1, in every case, would it not be better if you just took away the broth and just ate the shit that was in the bowl? Would it not just be a better meal at that point? Drink a glass of water.
There are soups that taste really good. Like the broth tastes good.
Not any that are brothy. Like a creamy broth, sure. But like a salty, brothy broth? No. It's not that good. Like I can understand cooking it in the broth and then taking it out of the broth to eat it, right? But it's like not adding anything. Right. So that's thing number 1. And then thing number 2 is, maybe it's just me, but anytime I eat soup, I get covered in soup. My whole upper body is splashed all over the place.
Yeah.
So I'm just against it.
There's something specifically about tomatoes that makes everything splash around. Like a tomato soup, that's going to splash like crazy. Like more than any other kind of soup.
I was actually mostly thinking about ramen. Because I think because the length of the noodles and how you often bite them and then they plop back in. But yeah,
that's because you're not supposed to bite them. You're actually supposed to suck them all up in one go.
Yeah, maybe that's my problem, is that my sucking ability is just not up to snuff. And when it comes to, soup eating. Because even with spaghetti.
Yeah. We were having we were having udon at a restaurant when we were just in Japan visiting my host mom from high school, who I hadn't seen in like fucking 20 years. I think it was like 15. I'm not that old. But, and she just commented, she's like, in Japanese, she's like, oh yeah, I forgot foreigners don't suck. Like referring to the noodles.
Famously.
She's like,
famously.
Foreigners don't suck. You guys like
no,
bite
I'm gonna pull an ab if I try to suck too much.
I should have asked like if it's like, does she think I'm rude for biting it? But I just like not to create more innuendos. I can't fit that much in my mouth at once,
That many noodles. I'm saying, because then you have 2 issues. 1, the sucking is embarrassing. 2, you, speaking of hamsters, you look like a hamster once you get all those noodles in your mouth. Yeah. Your cheeks are puffed up, and then you're chewing it. You look like Mulan in that scene where Mushu is stuffing rice into her mouth at the start of the movie. Not a good vibe. So yeah, I'm against soup. Pretty much totally in everything. I'm warming to non-translucent soups. So like a thick tomato soup, like a creamy tomato soup.
Yes.
Maybe a chowder,
Because I do love, I love a ramen and I love a spaghettio. I've been thinking about spaghettios lately.
Man, I think spaghettios are really bad.
I've been thinking about spaghettios.
When's the last time you had them? Chef Boyardee?
Years. It's one of those things that I like. It's in the same category of the like default Kraft mac and cheese, where like I'll get it at the grocery store impulsively to like remember my childhood, just like once every few years.
I wonder if it holds up.
So I think the last time I had SpaghettiOs probably was like several years ago at least.
Yeah, I remember thinking they were pretty terrible as a kid, but I don't know. Were there any? You have any weird? Because I remember I would eat sauerkraut as a kid, just like raw out of the fucking.
What the heck is sauerkraut?
You know? Really?
I've heard the word, but like, what is that?
You're not privy to some sauerkraut? I don't know. I think it's like
finely shredded cabbage
or something,
fermented by lactic acid.
It's just like cabbage but pickles, you know. And I used to just fucking
isn't that what kimchi
shovel
is?
It into my mouth like crazy. Yeah, but I hate kimchi. Isn't that crazy? I hate pickled things, but sauerkraut I loved. At least as a kid, I haven't had it in a while.
Well, we have weird phases as a kid. I had a phase as a kid where I ate fish sticks, even though I was a vegetarian and it had fish in the name. I think I didn't quite connect in my brain that meant
honestly
it was
reasonable
made of
though.
Fish.
Of all the things to not realize they're meat, fish sticks are far down it. Like I feel like even ground beef is starting to get like I could understand not quite considering it meat at that point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, why do you think? How do you think pickles got to be the thing that had the name of the process? Because like everything else has a name, like kimchi or pickled cabbage or pickled whatever or sauerkraut. But pickles...
Yeah, but what is that, a cucumber?
It should be called a pickled cucumber. But we call them pickles.
I don't know. I guess it's just the most common pickled thing for America. Maybe?
I wonder when pickles were invented. When were pickles invented?
Probably like a million years ago.
Pickles were invented, Jesus Christ, 2400 BC by ancient Mesopotamians.
Yeah.
Okay, so they might have just been the first thing. Let me see. Were pickles the first things to be pickled? It's a Google search, actually. Reddit says... Oh, I have my parental controls on, so I can't read Reddit.
Pickling is one of those things they probably would have invented before they could preserve food because it like is a method of preservation, you know?
Yes.
So they probably were pickling everything.
It says here Roman soldiers consumed pickles for strength. It's just crazy because they're mostly water, which I guess just goes to hydrating yourself is good for you.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so what I mean, really, I just wanted to. I guess I know the answer if you don't even like soup, period. But like if somebody invited you over and was like, yeah, so dinner's ready. It's my perpetual stew. We're all going to eat my perpetual stew. And this is something they've had going for you don't even know how long.
If I trust the person, I would actually be thrilled to try their perpetual stew. But there's a type of person where that's actually one of the most terrifying things they could offer to you, I think.
True,
like
yeah.
A witch. Like a Hansel and Gretel type witch.
It almost seems like something you'd be into because you were so into the my food guy. And the whole idea with the perpetual stew is you just throw random shit in there and then take it out whenever you're hungry.
And I think that's what's actually cool about it to me is how not, like it's so low effort in a sense, but just through time, I'm sure it doesn't literally, but the thought would be like it takes just little bits of all these food and somehow congeals into this perfect like balance of whatever. I'm sure you could mess one up, but it sounds interesting to me for sure.
The ones that I've seen, because I have seen some videos of it, maybe from this guy that your friend was talking about online, that like has a modern perpetual stew, but it looks not good. It looks very, very disgusting.
Perpetual stew guy Instagram.
Because it's just brown.
Holy smoke, it better not be this.
It's just
this
brown.
Looks terrible.
It's not.
This looks absolutely awful. This looks something that you... Yeah, is this him? The guy with the long hair? I mean, maybe it's delicious.
I've just seen the stew.
I need it to be thick. You know, the ratio needs to be... It needs to mostly be the food. It cannot... Like, if stuff's getting lost like a rock in a pool, like thrown in and it disappears because it gets too low.
You don't like bits of food in just like liquid.
Yeah, it has to be high enough that it's like the liquid's a supplement. It would be like if you had a bowl of cereal and it was just like a few bits of cereal in a whole bowl of milk. That's disgusting. You need to have a high ratio.
I think I would agree. It's not because I like hate the taste of it as much. It's just because I'm not going to get filled up. Like some people are like, I just have soup for lunch, and I put those in the same category as I put people that are like, I had a salad for lunch. I'm sure, like, that's not. I'm sorry, I can't. I need a carb. Yeah. I need like.
You got to have some carbs, some protein, some fats. You got to have some whatever. But I like a good salad, like a kale salad. Do you eat a salad
as a meal?
It depends on the salad. I'll use it as like a stopgap between meals. But I would very rarely.
I think it's psychological for me, maybe, because I understand that you can put protein in salads. Like I could have a salad with like tofu in it or something. But I just can't.
But I agree that's not
psychologically.
Not salad
I'm like,
in the way that you're thinking.
Satisfying me. I can't.
Yeah. You gotten any takeout this week? Any good takeout that you want to talk about?
I'm always getting fucking takeout.
Yeah. What'd you get?
I tried Noodles & Co. again. You ever had Noodles & Co.?
Yeah, that's pretty low brow for you, isn't it?
It is, but where I lived in Indiana before, we like didn't have any good local restaurants. It was all chains. So I found myself eating Noodles & Co. a lot. But I wouldn't say I support them. The quality has gone down. The amount of food they give you has gone down, and the prices have gone up. They never know what they're doing in there. They never have the cheese bread. So it was one of those things I was like, I know I'm going to be disappointed by this. Is this
just at the location you're going to, or is this like...
No, it's all of them. They're all like...
All of them. Okay.
They're all falling apart. They're falling into ruin.
I feel like because Noodles & Co. is always attached to a Chipotle, I'm always just going to Chipotle if I'm in an area like that, Chipotle. Like a strip mall.
Don't get me started.
Really, I think Chipotle gets a way bad rap. I think it's totally fine. Even now. What? Like, it's just meat. Meat, not even meat. I don't know why I said meat. I have the cilantro gene
that makes it taste like soap, so I can't do the rice.
Oh, yeah, because the rice is, true. All right, well,
they only have one rice option.
It's actually, no, they got two. They have white and brown, unless they both have cilantro. I specifically
remember a really depressing night in college when I was, like, starving and decided to try Chipotle for some reason, because it was, like, the closest thing. It was one of these nights where I was like most things are closed. I'm like coming back from the computer lab. I'm exhausted. I'm starving to death. I'm shaking. And I get my burrito and I took like 2 bites of it. And I literally, I couldn't eat it because it tasted so much like chemicals to me.
That's crazy. Cilantro's really good to me. It's such an interesting thing. But
I don't mind it. I don't feel like I taste it when it's just like a garnish on something. I'll eat it and it doesn't affect me, but the cilantro rice is like, I can't eat it. I don't know.
Huh. Well, so you got some Noodles & Co. this week?
Yeah, just to remind myself that it's a disappointment, and it was. It was like, the cheese bread wasn't even like cooked enough, so it was just like wet, because it just had like the butter on it, but it wasn't like cooked. So just like wet with butter.
Here's a question, and you don't have to answer this if you think it's going to reveal too much about your personality. But how high would the delivery fee have to be on whatever it is you're using to deliver for you to stop getting it? Like, at what point would you even have to cut back?
I don't get things delivered. We've talked about this before. I drive there and pick it up.
Oh, we have. All right, that's crazy. Good for you.
I think delivery fees are crazy. I think it's crazy to pay $20 to get your food.
It's interesting you say that. No, but I actually think, this might have been like a tweet or something I saw, but somebody pointed out, like, it should cost the same amount to drive a person somewhere as it should to drive your burger, because it's still driving.
It should, yes.
Like, there's no reason it should be $5 to drive a burger, but $15 for a cab. So I actually kind of think the delivery fees need to be higher.
Yeah, I'm not saying the price doesn't make sense. I'm saying it doesn't make sense to me personally to get food delivered, period. Because, it should be a high price because they should be paid well. But
the interesting question for you is, how low would it have to be? let's assume that they're going to get paid well regardless somehow.
Yeah.
But like, how low would it have to be for it to be worth it for you? Like, if it was $0, no brainer, right?
I mean, like $5.
Okay, but because it's like averaging like 12 or 13 now, I feel like, in addition to potentially the restaurants bumping the prices.
I get stuff delivered like maybe twice a year if I'm like bedridden, sick or something. And
what about like pizza, like in-house?
Pizza is a little bit different. I don't know. There's a culture of delivery behind pizza. And they have usually like if it's the pizza guy delivering, they have it more down to a science. And they like know what they're doing. Them,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've got the bags to keep it hot, and they can get like 7 in a row, so it's economies of scale, and that's how they're able to pay well enough and so on. Yeah. That makes sense.
They're like optimizing the strategy, whereas like the Grubhub guy is just like bumbling around. That's the impression I get. He's just there's no optimal route.
They're stopping at their friend's house. They're hanging out with people.
They're like stopping to get multiple orders, but the route doesn't make any sense, so they're going way out of their way before they get to you, and that's why your food is cold. Yeah. So
I still do it, obviously.
So pizza, I think, is okay.
Yeah, agreed. A really good hot delivery pizza. I'm getting hungry.
I do have...
Right, what other food topics? Any other food topics?
You're making me hungry. I haven't had lunch yet. I actually have a topic to get into today.
Just end the pod and go order some pizza? We could order it during the pod now.
We'll come back in 20 minutes when I have food, and then I'll do a mukbang and you can talk.
Oh my God, amazing. It's a non-visual, it's a auditory mukbang, so I'm just going to hear this food being shoveled into my mouth. Yeah. Horrible. Thankfully, Discord would probably filter out most of it for me.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, yeah, what do you got? Let's start the show.
I do have a topic. Got a wonderful email from Andrew with a topic suggestion.
Oh my God.
That I'm so thankful for this email because he basically just said like, have you heard of the Barkley marathons? Which have you?
I have not.
Surely
Sounds like something dogs would do.
But that's like basically all it says is like, have you heard of this thing? And then I looked it up and went down a rabbit hole and ended up watching a whole documentary about it last night.
Whoa, okay.
And I highly recommend this documentary.
Should I not look it up? Should I just let you tell me to start? Or is this something that I need to look it up so that we can talk about it?
I mean, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know.
Incredible.
And you can always watch the documentary later. I'm just going to sit back
and eat my pizza.
I'm not going to...
Okay.
Do you really have pizza? I'm so hungry. Now I'm jealous.
No, I don't. I really wish I did.
You literally...
I honestly might.
You said, I'm going to eat my pizza, and my stomach moved. I was like, oh my God.
Why are you so hungry? You're not eating?
I just didn't eat yet.
You didn't have your midday salad?
I had breakfast a couple hours ago, and then I went to the gym, and now I'm here. And,
that'll do it.
I haven't. I was going to eat lunch right after we finished this. I'm not like starving to the point where I'm uncomfortable.
Are you Pilatesing again, or is it still...
A little bit, yeah, on my own. I don't do the class anymore because they moved the time of the class.
It. Yeah,
and I
of course.
I just can't make it work anymore. But
yeah, I
do some of the moves on my own, and then I do my cardio. So
yeah, there you go. So you worked up appetite. That explains why for the first time ever we spent 30 minutes talking about nothing but food somehow.
Yeah, but like the perpetual stew discussion was not getting me going because that's gross. But as soon as you said pizza,
listen, it can be a pizza night for you. It can be a pizza night for me. We could get a pizza.
You might be inspiring me.
I might think about that actually. Maybe tonight could be a pizza night. Why not? Right? Maybe all of us should. Well, I'm talking to the viewers now. Maybe we should all get a pizza. You know? Actually, what I want to know...
That clip of... I know you don't know what I'm talking about, but for the two people that do, when it's Ethan Klein and Trisha Paytas, and one of them goes, should we get a pizza? And they both look at each other and gasp and go, should we?
Oh.
That's me right now.
Yeah, we should. Let's get a pizza.
I really should.
I want to know...
I was going to tell you about the Barkley marathons. What do you...
All right, actually, yeah, skip that. Tell me about the Barkley.
Okay, because I actually have a lot to say. Again, the
BM,
documentary...
as they say.
Yes, the BM. The great BM. The documentary, which I recommend you go watch. I'm going to try not to spoil too much of like the details of the documentary, but it's called The Barkley Marathon, The Race That Eats Its Young. And it's free on YouTube. If you just look up that title, it's an hour and a half. It's free on YouTube. So I'm just going to describe what the race is like. But I'm not going to go into like, it's still worth it to watch the documentary because it's following a specific year of the race. I think it was like the 2012 or the 2013 Barkley Marathon. And you can see people actually experiencing it and what actually happens on the day. But I'm just going to describe to you what the race is because there's a lot of points to it actually.
Okay, I'm ready.
So this is a race created by this guy named Lazarus and his friend, who they just call Raw Dog. I actually don't know much about Raw Dog because he's not really in the documentary. It's mostly just about Lazarus, who is the mastermind behind it. But he was a runner like his whole life. He's older now, but like in his youth, he was a big runner, marathon runner and stuff. And he created this race inspired by the prison break of James Earl Ray, who was convicted of assassinating Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, really? I was just reading about the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah?
And I missed that was his name.
But so
I was reading about other things, I guess.
So James Earl Ray ended up in prison in Tennessee, which is where this marathon takes place. And it's like a prison in the middle of the wilderness, basically. So the idea is it's like hard to escape. But he did escape at one point and made it like 8.5 miles out into the wilderness. And then they caught him. They just like found him in the woods.
It's not very far.
It's not very far. And so Lazarus saw that in the news. And this was like an area that he hiked all the time. And he saw that in the news and he said, that's weak. I could make it 100 miles out there.
Okay.
So he created a 100-mile marathon in the hills and woods of Tennessee. And you have 60 hours to complete this 100-mile race that is done in 5 loops of 20 miles.
Oh, that's devastating. Like, think about that. Like, at least doing 100 miles in one direction, it's like progress. But the idea of doing 5 20-mile loops, holy cow. That sounds horrible.
So
what'd you say,
it's
60 hours?
60 hours, so you're not sleeping much.
So you've got to do an average of 1.6, so let's say round up 2-ish miles an hour, which isn't actually that fast. That's like a walking pace, but it's over 60 hours. And you probably couldn't keep that up.
Yes,
right?
But the terrain is crazy. You're going up and down hills. You're going through brush. Like it's not even, there's not even good trails in all of it. So you're like hacking your way through the forest.
Uh-huh.
So it's 5 loops of 20 miles. That is what Lazarus says. People that actually go on the race say that it's really longer than that. It's really more like a marathon each loop, which is like 26 miles. So it's more than 100 miles technically, but Lazarus just says that it's 20, even though he's like constantly changing what the path is and adding stuff. He just still says it's 20.
Is he like the guy from Saw? He's like, we're just making the rules.
So. I think he enjoys seeing people suffer a little bit. When he's doing the interviews and the documentaries, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if he's like evil necessarily, but he enjoys challenging people. I'll put it that way.
In a weird way, isn't this like if Bowser was real from Mario? This is kind of what he does, right?
Yeah.
He like just makes shit and goes, try this out.
Yeah.
Try this out. Try and cut. Run, Mario, go. Jump.
So
go
the terrain is crazy. There's a total of 12,000 feet elevation change if you do the whole race.
Whoa.
Which means 12,000 feet up and down. And they said in this documentary that that's equivalent to climbing and descending Mount Everest twice. Is that true? I don't know. But that's what they said.
Mount Everest is what, 26 or 27,000 feet high. So it might be something like from base camp to something.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I don't know where base camp on Everest is exactly. It's definitely not multiple climbings and descendings. And also that's misleading in the sense that like the climb of Mount Everest, the reason it's hard is because you're at 20,000 feet, but
right.
Hey, respect.
So not quite the same, but they're trying to give us an idea of how much the elevation is. They do this in they do it in March. Let's sign up. No.
It's coming up. You think you would die?
It's not, you think I would die? I would just quit before I died.
No, I'm saying if you couldn't quit. Like, your option is...
Probably.
If you don't make it before 60 hours, we shoot you. So those are your choices. Like, do you think you would end up dying?
Almost certainly,
we could
yes.
do it.
I think I would.
We'd probably get very injured. I don't know. How hard could it be? Probably really hard.
There's briars everywhere, so your legs get super cut up. Part of the race is actually a tunnel under the prison that James escaped from.
How did they do that? They must have permission.
I think it's not used as a prison anymore, so you can kind of just hike around it.
Whoa, an abandoned prison. That's fun.
Yeah. They say if you do 3 loops, if you don't make it to 5 loops, if you do 3, they call it a fun run. Because it's only what, like 70 miles or something. And they mix up the direction of it. So like you're saying, it would be torture to do 5 loops. You do the first 2 clockwise, the second 2 counterclockwise, and the last one, it's like random depending like what order you come in on.
Coin.
They just set on the last one, for whoever makes it to the last one, they go like, you go the opposite direction of the last guy. So
they keep them separated.
You flip off. And you take a break. You take a break at camp in between loops. So if you think you can like make it within the 60 hours, you can like take a nap. You can fix your feet up. People's feet are getting fucked. Like they're getting trench foot.
Even in normal marathons, you get a little messed up sometimes. So that 100 miles.
It's gross. You're getting blisters. You're getting cut up by the foliage. You're getting trench foot.
I think
they have to like
even marathons
doctor their feet every time they come back to camp.
Yeah, I feel like long distance running is just like objectively bad for you. Like runners always will tell you like, no, it's just like as long as you do it right, it's fine. But I just don't believe that. Like, I don't think that it's whatever is required to get to the point that you can run 100 miles in whatever amount of time. I feel like you're going to need new knees. But maybe not. I don't know. So how many times did Barkley himself do it? Not Barkley. What's his name? Lazarus. How many times did he do it? That's what I want to know.
You're just going to have to watch the documentary just to find that out. But they only... he's very picky about the applicants. There's so much that's wacky about this race. He picks the applicants, Lazarus does, and he only accepts 40 people. And they didn't go in... I need to look more into the application process, but it's like very secretive what the application process is. Apparently you have to take some kind of test, and you have to pay $1.60 to apply, non-refundable application fee of $1.60.
So reasonable.
And so he handpicks 40 people out of like hundreds that apply from like all over the world at this point. There's like people that apply from Europe and all kinds of stuff. And then once you get there, there's a few more fees you have to pay. You have to bring a license plate from the place that you came from. So from your country or your state. And he like collects these license plates.
Yeah.
And then it said recently when this documentary came out, which was like 2013, it was like, recently I started charging people clothes. So he just asks you to bring an item of clothing that he just personally wants. He's like, I want some flannels, so everybody bring a flannel for me.
How detailed is he? Is he like saying, bring me a Supreme jacket?
I think he probably tells them his size. I don't know. I don't know how specific it is. In the year that the documentary was filmed, he just wanted flannels, so everybody was bringing him a flannel.
Okay.
I wonder if somebody forgot.
That's
if
not
they
a
just
good way to
wouldn't be
get
able
clothes.
To compete.
Also, couldn't you just show up and run? It's in a park, right? Or is it private land?
It is a park, yeah.
Or is it like a secret?
Yeah,
what
happened?
The route is a secret. Be like, I'm just here, I'm doing it.
Yeah, so that's the thing about the route, too. He only creates one master map of the route, which he changes every year. And it's very like esoteric instructions, which I did look that up. I am using that word correctly. It means like only understood by people in the know. So it's like he has like a list of instructions along with a map, and he's like referencing specific trees. He's like, the next point you need to go to, there's like a tree on the left with 2 trunks and a tree on the right with 3 trunks.
So this is a navigational exercise in addition to a race.
Yeah. But there's only one master map and set of instructions that before the race starts, everybody has to like copy down onto their own maps from the master map. So he doesn't make copies and hand them out. Everybody has to pass it around and make their own markings. So it's like a navigational challenge as well.
Yeah, this is kind of awesome. Good for him. Wait, I love this. This is truly a game.
It is. I mean, it's like the Hunger Games. Like, it's people get eliminated very quickly. Most people give up on the first loop, either because they get lost or it's too much for them because it's just like very rough. It's rough.
And so it's only, you said it's 40 people. Does it, like, I guess you don't want to spoil it, but like, do you have a sense of how many people roughly finish every time?
Every year it's like 0 to 3 people finish it. There's many years where nobody finishes it.
That's a small number. I feel like this, as neat as it sounds, in the back of my mind, I am wondering if this guy really hated Martin Luther King. And he's almost like living out a fantasy of Martin Luther King's guy escaping.
He says no.
You know?
I mean, again, I don't want to like spoil too much of the documentary.
And he was like, no.
He says that he's gotten like hate mail from people that think he's being problematic by like glorifying James Earl Ray. And
I mean, in a way, he's making fun of him.
But yeah,
so I could see that.
His response is, no, I'm actually making fun of him because I think his prison break was pathetic, and I think I could have done better.
Okay, so it's more like you could say like a loosely toxic masculine kind of like, let's see how much we can take kind of a thing. But beyond that, it's probably fine.
There's definitely some toxic masculinity. I think I saw on the Wikipedia that he has been pretty sexist in the past and like basically said there's no way a woman could do this race.
Wait, can ladies do it?
In the documentary I saw, there were a few women, so he did let a few women in, but I think...
Did any of them win?
No.
Someone's got to. It can't be that hard.
I don't want to spoil it. Because you should watch the documentary. But
all right.
But I don't know if a woman has ever won. I think so. Maybe I saw that on the Wikipedia. I don't know.
Okay.
You guys should go look it up because it's really fascinating. The race starts with like the signal to go once everybody is lined up is Lazarus lighting a cigarette. He lights the cigarette, everybody goes. Boys being boys kind of shit. Yeah.
Truly. Okay. All right. Hey, you know what? They got to get out somehow.
This made me laugh too. When so everybody gets there early, they're studying the map. The start time of the race is kept a secret until 1 hour before it starts. So there's a window between midnight and noon on the day that it starts when it could start at any moment. And you just have to like be at camp just like anticipating that he's just going to pick a random time. And what they do is they blow a conch shell 1 hour before it's going to start to alert everybody you have 1 hour.
I think, listen, if he was truly committed, he wouldn't even blow the conch. You'd have to follow him around all day until he lit the cigarette and then just start running. That'd be the true commitment. How many people have died?
I don't think anybody's died.
Do they save people if they fall? Like if you pass out in the middle of the woods, like
I'm not sure.
Someone gonna come help you?
In the year that I was watching, there were people that would give up partway through a loop and then they just have to hike all the way back to camp. But I don't think anybody got stuck out there. I'm not sure. There might have been a helicopter rescue or two in the past. I don't know.
I have now Googled just to see what's like the rough time that it takes people. And it does look like the record is 52 hours. And most people finish in like 58, 59. Mm-hmm. So it must be pretty tough. Which I guess is a silly thing to say considering everything you've described so far. But it sounds
It looks like
tough.
Torture, dude.
Yeah, I guess for me, I'm still picturing just like a kind of a jaunt through the woods. Like I'm having a hard time picturing the destruction to your body in the way that you're describing. Easy. Yeah, you're just like, let's go. You just go through like a slightly brisk walk for 60 hours through the woods. But obviously I'm going to have to see some footage.
Yeah, I mean, your feet and legs just get destroyed by the terrain. Because there's
do you think if I search Barkley Marathon feet, I could see a picture?
You can try. It was
definitely
pretty fucking gross. I had to look away from the documentary when they were zooming in on their feet.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look any worse than like Battle of the Bulge, or whatever. It looks much better than that, frankly. But this looks pretty nasty, pretty gross.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't realize that. I think that's what trench foot is, right? When your foot just gets like wet and then it can't dry out, and it's just gross, and it hurts.
It's a serious injury. I don't know. Yeah, that sounds right.
But it's crazy that like everybody was getting back from the first loop with their feet looking like that, and then they had to do 4 more.
I mean, that is like some serious. You got to have some serious mental fortitude.
Yeah, it's a mental game as much as a physical.
It's not like you're in the Battle of the Bulge. Did you ever watch Band of Brothers?
No.
Oh, all right. Well,
is that like a war movie?
It's like a very, very excellent war miniseries, HBO, about World War II. But they were in that battle and their feet were getting all like that. But like they just couldn't leave, because if they left, then the Nazis got to come. And there's no Nazis in this race or any kind of like, whatever. It's not like if you quit the race, motivation. America gets destroyed or whatever. Yeah, you have to like. So what I'm saying is the people in the Battle of the Bulge had it easy compared to the Barkley Marathon people, because these people had to find they have to find internal motivation.
Yeah.
Did you say how you? Oh, because somebody emailed us. That's how. Okay. Huh. Should we visit it?
Just to see.
Yeah, go for a walk. Frozen Head State Park.
Because you could maybe just treat it as a hike, just a long hike.
Yeah.
Just to see what it's like.
I just kind of want to go in the tunnel.
That's what I want to see. I want to know if it's a whole abandoned prison you can like walk around.
Yeah, I wonder where. It looks like, I'm looking at it on Google Maps now, and it does look like there is a non-abandoned prison still here. Okay, yeah, here's the abandoned one. Oh, it's tiny. How do they even put people here?
Is it?
It's just like this little tiny thing in the woods. Thankfully, someone brought a Google 360 camera there so I can look at it. This would be a very intimidating place. But honestly, if you got yard time here, kind of gorgeous relative to maybe most prisons.
Get to see
it's
some
like
nature.
Not the worst. All right. Well, where is this? How far of a drive is it? Let's see. Okay, it's pretty far. It'd be like an 9 hour drive. Maybe someday.
Apparently James Earl Ray, when they found him, like he just kind of wandered around in the woods. I don't know what direction he was trying to go or if he even had a plan. But when they found him, he was just like laying on the ground, covered himself in leaves, trying to be like PETA from the Hunger Games, disguising himself. And the canines found him. The dogs sniffed him out.
How long after he got caught did this Lazarus guy like put out, I don't know, how did he put out a statement or what, that he was like weak, lame, I could have done way better? What was the overlap? And also, did James Earl Ray does he know about this? Well, he's dead now, but did he know about the Barkley Marathons? That's what I want to know as well. That would be funny.
So the marathon, I think, started in, gosh, let me pull it up. Let me pull it back up. Also, I guess they call it the Barkley Marathons, plural. Maybe they're saying each
it's 5
loop,
or whatever.
Each loop is a marathon.
That makes sense.
When did this? It was like either 75 or 85. It started in 85, so that might have been, when was the James Earl Ray thing?
Well, he killed.
When did he escape?
MLK, and when did he escape? I don't know. I'm gonna guess 1971.
Oh, he escaped from, soon. I guess he'd had 2 different prison breaks, and the second one was the one in Tennessee, which was in 77. Okay. So this was a decent...
So he was good at the initial part of it, the getting out part.
True, yeah, he did that twice.
It was just, he was probably in like a maximum security prison, right? Or maybe they gave him a sweetheart deal because whatever, but he was good at that bit. And then it's just the not dying in the woods. That's crazy though. 8 miles, even walking, is like maybe 3 hours of walking, and then you're saying he gave up. That is weak, honestly. That seems weak to me.
He only made it 8.5 miles in 54 hours. So I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, whoa,
more than 2 days.
It just, how is that possible?
He's probably just lost. People get lost in the woods, I guess. He just had no navigation skills.
So maybe he was doing like a lot of loops and stuff.
Yeah, I
think, when you're in like the woods, like we think of the woods as like trails and stuff, but if you ever walk up to like the woods, like you can't go through it without like a machete at minimum, So I guess that makes sense. And then the other question, I guess, is how far would he have had to have walked before he would have gotten somewhere, Because it looks like, according to this, I mean, the nearest town, maybe this town, Oliver Springs, was there, and that looks like it was, well, ironically, only about 10 miles away, so I don't know what direction he went. Yeah, who knows? Maybe he went the wrong way. Because if he went north, he would have been screwed. He would just been going into the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, that's the thing, is if he had no plan of where, like if he had no idea where he was or where he was going, then there's like a good chance he's just going to keep wandering into nothingness, so.
Yeah, it's a big risk.
But sure. He lived until 1998, so there was a 13-year period where he was alive and the Barkley marathons were happening, so I do wonder if he knew about it.
Was there, I'm surely not, but was there any overlap while the prison was still open where those people would have been running underneath him in the tunnel? Probably not.
I don't know.
I doubt they would let people do that while it was an active prison. But how funny would that have been to be running the Barkley Marathon, and then you see like a little dirt coming off the ceiling, and then James Earl Ray comes busting through for his next attempt, and then they're just like, follow me. And then the Lazarus guy kills him.
I think they might have only added the prison to the route once it went out of service.
That makes sense. Well, that's crazy.
It is crazy. This is like...
People do just
my
do
favorite kind
things.
of story is when I discover just some random crazy person doing something I never would have even conceived of. Like, I just love that people are so unique.
That is one of the benefits of the 8 billion people, Yeah. Like, there's some downsides to having so many people, but one of the benefits is those sort of marginal statistical anomalies become common enough that you find like the craziest stories you've ever heard, like positive and negative. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of fun. It kind of, it lightens up my life a little bit.
For sure.
Is that the longest type of marathon to run, you think? What's an ultra marathon? Ultra marathon length?
This says it is an ultra marathon.
Is anything above?
It might just be, anything that's longer than a regular marathon.
Yeah, anything longer than a marathon is what it says here. So, okay.
It's interesting that it's even called a marathon, because when I think of a marathon, I think of it being mostly on flat ground, and like the challenge is just like running that long. But this is more like a hike that you have to do kind of fast.
It's like a torture hike. It's kind of like a military entrance exam for 100 miles, Yes. And calling it a marathon does sort of undersell what it is, but in a way that's cooler. To like undersell it, and then it gets like the reputation.
Again, I don't want to say too much because I actually want you guys to watch the documentary, but I don't understand why a lot of the people were wearing shorts when you're explicitly going to be going through like thorny brambles, and then they would come back to camp and their legs are torn up, and I'm like, did they just decide that the trade-off was worth it for some reason because they wanted their legs to breathe? Like,
well, you said they do it in March, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's got to be chilly.
The weather is different on different years. Sometimes it's really cold. Sometimes it's warm. The year that I watched it was warm.
I imagine if it's over like 20 or 30 degrees, you probably still would get really hot running for that long. So maybe it is just like it's overheating, and, then it's like better airflow, and you're not going to...
I don't know.
I was going to say you're going to avoid chafing, but you're going to get chafed by the plants.
It was gnarly, the state that these guys' legs was in. I would have had some long socks and some pants on underneath. I don't know.
Well, if you ever try it, that would be what you could wear.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you look at when you're just like watching a documentary about it and you're like, man, I would have made different decisions. I just think I would have known better than these
Which
guys.
Which ironically
and there's
is kind of what he did to James Earl Ray.
Yeah. There's zero chance that I would even be okay. Like, I would not make it a quarter of a way through one loop.
I wonder, how far, like if we put money on it and we went out and like did a meet and greet or whatever, but it was see who can make it further in the Barkley Marathon, and you do it off season, right? And just see, do you think you could do a loop? I don't think so.
No. Well, because it's the length of a marathon and it's up and down hills. Like, there's no way. Well,
that you could do.
The longest hike I've ever done was like maybe
26
5 miles.
But like if your life was on, I'm not saying your life's going to be on the line, but if your life was on the line, you could make it 26 miles walking. Your feet would hurt. You'd be really tired. But then you add in like the brush and the like cold. It'd be tough.
Yeah.
Maybe we have someone in the comments who's done the Barkley Marathon, you think?
God, I wish. I think that's pretty unlikely. It's
only
very
like
selective.
30 people. Yeah. Maybe we know someone who knows someone.
I was always, again, this is just like me being a dumb viewer that probably could never do this shit myself. But you ever watch like, is it The Amazing Race where they do where they're like hiking and stuff? Is that the one, or is it something else?
The Amazing Race is anything and everything. It's a true test of the human spirit across the entire globe.
Right. But one of those shows where when they have like big hiking sections, there's always people that like can't even get like a couple miles into the hike before they're like freaking out and exhausted and like laying on the ground. And I'm like, have you ever seen an episode of the show you auditioned to do? Like,
that does happen, I feel like, a lot with like reality shows.
Yeah.
Where you're like, how did you not understand? Like, this is what it is. It's the whole point.
Yes.
But maybe people just hear about it and they just sign up, or maybe, probably more likely, is producers are selecting for people who are going to do funny, dumb stuff, you know?
I'm sure, yeah.
So they do interviews and like, have you ever hiked? And they're like, have I ever what? And they're like, you're in. Let's do it.
They probably do have like quotas of like, this percentage of the people has to be really bad and this percentage has to be really good.
Yeah. And which is so... it's so obvious why you would want to do that, but it like feels so bad to know that. Like, you have to almost pretend they're not doing that in order to watch those shows, because it's so manipulated. And it's like, I wanted to see a real competition. I thought we were just taking random stock people.
Are so bad. Have you seen any of Love is Blind?
Yes. I think I watched most of I watched the first season up until they get in the mansion, and then it just becomes a reality show. But I was aghast at some of the things in that show. I thought it was a clever idea, though, for trashy reality TV. That's pretty good.
The first season, when would that have been? When did it start?
I don't even know. This would have been probably 6 years ago, so I don't exactly know when.
Oh,
it might
I guess
have been a COVID thing, honestly.
It started in 2020, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I watched that.
I have seen
season.
A bunch of clips of Love is Blind against my will. Not really against my will. I watched some YouTubers that like react to it or whatever, like in a funny way.
Yeah.
But I have just been mind blown by like people talk about this show. I can't believe how many people watch this show and how dumb and fake and painful to watch it is. Like, it's not... people talk about it as if it's, like, more wholesome because they're not seeing each other at the beginning. But it's not wholesome at all. It's horrible. All these people are completely fake.
I think the reason it was so funny is because they all have, like, chemistry with... because that's obviously... And then there's the thing where it's like, do you want to marry this person? And they're like, yeah, because they have all this chemistry. And then it's so funny because they'll both walk into a room, and like half the time, one of them kind of looks at the other one and goes like, ugh, wait,
yes.
What? And you're like, oh my God, dude, this is the most horrible thing I've ever seen in my life, is like
it's so
just like
cringy.
You can see it on their face how much they're like, oh, I didn't know you were ugly. I didn't think that was a possibility. So I get why like that's appealing to watch it, because it's like funny and ghastly and you know, gross.
Yeah, I mean it's drama and people love watching drama, but I just couldn't believe once I actually learned more about like how the show works. I'm like, I can't believe the timeline, the fact that you're like expected to get engaged in what seems like a really short amount of time.
3 weeks. Yeah, it's 3 weeks. You go to the house.
That's insane.
Meet each other. And then like everyone switches partners because they're like, I don't want to be with this person I think's ugly. So they all switch partners. And then at the end, after 3 weeks, you know, they go shopping and get their dresses and suits. And they even like meet each other's families sometimes. And then they don't tell each other. Well, I mean, maybe they do behind the scenes. But they just, at the end, they go up to the altar and they go, do you want to get married? And the people say yes or no. Like that's at that last moment. And if they say yes, like I think they legally end up getting married. Like I think that is the thing that happens, which is nuts. So
it's insane. It's the most like manufactured fake shit I've ever seen. They're all like, it just defeats the purpose also because I've never seen a clip of it like where they weren't all conventionally attractive. And not only that, but like the type of girls to like have a bunch of plastic surgery done and lip filler and everything. Like
I would say that it was like, I would say it was I would agree that they're all like conventionally attractive above a certain threshold, but there are like different types of people enough that you can tell that certain people wouldn't end up being compatible.
But it just I don't know. Those kind of shows are just painful to watch for me.
Horrendous. We watched I think maybe the worst one I've ever watched was what the hell was it called? It was I don't remember what it was called. It was like these couples go to an island, and most of them are couples wherein one of the partners had cheated on the other one at some point in the past.
Nice.
And they go to this island, and then the point of the island is they separate the guys and girls into different giant mansions.
Wait, is it the one that's like about being horny? What is that one? It's like Horny Island or something.
No, I heard that one's actually wholesome. I heard from multiple people that one is like weirdly sex positive and super non-judgmental. I don't know if that's true, but Dynamite reality show about cheating. What's it called?
So they're just like being tested if they're going to cheat again?
No, but it's so bad because they separate them. So everyone on it is straight. They don't have gay people in it.
Of course.
So it's straight people. They separate them. Boys in one house, girls in the other. And then they hire like 15 models, like guy models, girl models, to go in and try to get the people to cheat on them. Yeah. And then people do it. Like it happens. They have like a special tent where they say, hey, if you want to cheat on them, you have to go in this tent where there's no cameras. And then people do it knowing that their partner is going to watch it. It's like so horrible. And it could be totally fabricated. I don't know. But holy cow. I was just watching the people and the way they behave on this. It's like, where do they find these people? And this is another consequence of 7 billion people. You're going to be able to find, a couple million maybe who are willing to behave in these horrible ways.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing about reality shows is it's attracting the type of people that just want attention under any circumstance. Yeah. Like they don't care. They just want to be on TV, which is fascinating to me because I don't have that bug, I guess. Like they just want to be on TV regardless of what it's going to do to their personal relationships or their life or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And the danger, of course, is then we like extrapolate based on their behavior and like regurgitate it into our behavior and our culture. So we like snake eat its own tail, and it makes us think like this is how people behave. It's kind of like what social media and everything does, I guess. So whatever. But I thought that was probably the grossest reality show I ever watched. I was jaw dropped at the way these people were willing to behave on camera, knowing that their partners, and not only that their partners were going to watch it, that they were going to have to do a confrontation. And then some of them got back together with the people who had not only cheated on them before the show, but did it during the show also. And it's just like really sad.
If they're willing to forgive him once, they'll forgive him again.
I guess so. But I can't remember the name of that show, so whatever. It was called like might have been Temptation Island, honestly, now that
that sounds right, yeah.
Sounds
what
about
is the
right,
one that I'm thinking of, the horny one? It's just like all about putting a bunch of hot people together. Isn't the challenge that they're like not supposed to have sex? This is the one I'm thinking of. They like put a bunch of hot, horny people together and they say you're not allowed to have sex. Like whoever has sex first loses.
Well, that's...
What is that one called?
Really, you think? What? Do you think that's really the premise?
I saw like a trailer for it. Yeah.
And if you do it, I wonder what the prize is. Because like there's a pretty, you could do a pretty easy calculus there.
It's called Too Hot to Handle. It's on Netflix apparently, so who knows how long it even lasted.
Yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of when I said it was wholesome, so I take that back.
Revolves around a group of adults who are placed together in a house while being forbidden from any kissing sexual contact. With the money prize getting reduced anytime a rule is broken.
And so it's
are they just trying to outlast? Like, is it just a time waiting thing? I don't know.
And then if like people kiss, it's like and like all the lights turn red, and it's like stop it.
But it's just so funny because it's actually the easiest challenge of all time. Like, there's no way you can just not resist kissing somebody for any period of time. For money, like...
As though it's like some... But again, that's what I mean. It's like for some people, they might go,
but it's supposed to be that,
grand?
like, that's how horny they are. Like, they can't...
Yeah. Yeah, how do you select for that? Hey, before we stop, I actually have to recommend... You just reminded me of something that I'm not going to rewatch all of.
Oh.
And it is perhaps the greatest... And I need everyone to believe me on this. Perhaps... I can't even talk about it without laughing. Maybe the greatest reality show I've ever seen in my life. And one of the funniest television shows. Like, I have not laughed at anything, I think, as hard as I laughed at this show the first time I watched it. It is a Japanese reality show called Documental, and it's hosted by this old kind of grizzled Japanese comedian. And all it is he gets 10 Japanese comedians together and puts them in a room, and it's like a set, kind of like a fake apartment or something, but it's not meant to be like you live here. It's just, we're putting you in this room, and a whole game is just, if you laugh, you're out, and whoever's the last person to laugh.
Try not to laugh challenge.
Yeah, and I cannot even begin to describe the...
I might have seen clips of this before.
It's the most insane and hilarious, but it's like the things that you're going to laugh at in the show are things you never would have, like if I described them to you, you'd be like, that's not funny. Because stuff that you expect to be funny is not the stuff that people are laughing at because they're like prepared for it. Mm-hmm. But like, there's no rules about what you can do. So when I tell you, these people are like...
They're like getting naked and stuff, right?
So you have no idea. Yeah. Like, it's the last episode of the first season. There's this game. There's, I think, 2 or 3 comedians left. And one of them comes up with this game. Oh, God, I wish I could remember the name of the game. But it was called something like... Check It Out. He was like, I have this game and I'm going to do it, and it's called Check It Out. And you can't even, if you laugh at all, like a small laugh, mm-hmm. the guy is watching in the other room, and then they like review the tape and he decides if you actually laughed or not. And like you try to hide it or whatever. So that one of the comedians comes up with this game to make them laugh, which is just called, I think he just called it something like Check It Out or like Take a Look. And what he would do is he got totally naked. I don't even want to describe it, actually. I'm not even going to describe it. Just if you have any...